back to my channel. Today is another ramble about my day. Some stuff that's on my mind. Whatever pops up randomly. I didn't do too much today. It's the weekend. It was my day off. So I think that might actually be good for a video. Almost paradoxically, because you want to have something to talk about, but at the same time, when it's very chill, low-key kind of day, it makes good for something that a person could fall asleep to, I guess. So I woke up maybe around 9:30, something like that, and I went and what exactly did I do actually when I first woke up? Well, I think the first thing I did was go for just a drive and pick up a couple things from Walmart, and I got Q-tips and stuff like that, just random quick things that were only, like $5 or something, and just got some sunlight, a little bit of motion, just walking, getting circadian rhythm, the sunlight in my eyes, just going through the motions. I always like to go out as soon as I wake up. Well, not as soon as I wake up, but as soon as possible. I skipped breakfast today. I had chicken wings instead, which is, sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you just gotta have a day to yourself where you don't think about necessarily eating healthy or doing the right things, but a weekend should be a weekend. It should be, the dishes were done from last night. I have laundry to do tomorrow, so I still have some responsibilities to do, but for the most part today was just a day where I could just unwind and relax. And I listened to some podcasts, and I looked into some stock news. I have a bit of money on the stock market, not a lot. I'm not, like some kind of 100-foot yacht guy here. I'm not trying to do like some sort of flex by saying I'm some sort of cool stock trader guy. That's not what I'm saying, but I have a little bit of money in the stock market, and I was kind of researching how the Iran conflict is going to play into that, as well as commodity prices and some copper stocks. I kind of think that copper stocks are going to be the next thing. I'm not the most experienced person. I'm not giving advice, but if data centers and electric vehicles and all this kind of stuff actually rolls out as planned, the demand for copper is going to go way up. So I do have a stock already that's a copper play, and it has went up quite a bit over the last 2 years, but at the same time it's crashing right now because of the conflict in the Middle East. And as oil prices rise, commodities like copper go down because it's more expensive for copper mines to stay afloat and function and produce, because they use oil obviously and whatnot, so it affects their bottom line. So yeah, I was looking into that, and I was also looking into gold stocks, and surprisingly gold is going down as well during this, and crypto as well. And both of those things are supposed to be like hedges against inflation and wars and, unrest and uncertainty. And people are pulling their money out of both gold and crypto to hold cash when this is going on. So that's kind of a question mark. It's above my knowledge, but it goes against the narratives that retail traders have been fed, I guess. So yeah, I'm also paying attention to the AI bubble, and I think it's a bubble, and Microsoft in particular, which is probably the most recent stock I invested in, which was like maybe 4 months ago. I bought at its peak, and it's only been crashing ever since. And I'm really disappointed in it because it seems like all of its future is already priced in. So it doesn't seem like there's any real upside for the year in that stock. So like I'm going to be bag holding for like 2 or 3 years to see a profit or something. I don't know. It seems like it's not going anywhere. I bought Visa a long time ago, and that was the same problem, but I think Visa's finally up now. But not all my stocks are dead. Like, I have Google, which is a decent one. And I, once again, don't want to say, like, I have a lot of money in these. I don't, but I just like to kind of have some sort of savings and some sort of maybe feeling like an adult or responsible or something. Like my uncle has some stocks too, but yeah, that's kind of what I was looking at, just trying to make some like wise choices for my future. I'm getting older. I need like some retirement savings like that can hedge against inflation and whatnot. But on like the topic of getting older, it's a weird feeling. It's something I never even thought would even happen to me. I guess people that are really smart and driven and looking into the future more, they're kind of, or maybe have strict parents that are successful, would tell them like right away in high school, like it's gonna go by really fast. But I guess I had people say that it was gonna go by fast too, but it's different when you live it. And I don't want to say that like I wasn't disciplined. Like I've done some things with my life. I don't want to come across as like this is a victim video or something, but it's just weird that I'm finally at an age where I'm seeing like younger people start coming up, and I was just that. Like I'm in my early 30s now, pretty recent, and into my early 30s, and it's kind of weird. It's a strange feeling. Yeah, so some sort of middle life or quarter life crisis I have going on too. I've been wearing the oversized white tee this week, trying to bring back like 2005 vibes, but like I wasn't even around for the 2005 vibes. My older sisters were, but like I have a sister that's 8 years older than me, and she would have been, with the kind of around in like the 50 Cent era. I was more around in like Lil Wayne, Gucci Mane era, but I was listening to like Nirvana and Tupac and like 90s throwbacks and stuff. But I was one of the kids that was like dressed up like Eminem, Slim Shady and shit, always like swearing, and I fucking, I don't know, like the typical kind of like white trash stan type high schooler. And yeah, I said in another video, I just bought a skateboard and I have like the oversized white tees on this week. Like I'm going through some sort of midlife crisis, which is it's actually fun when when you actually can see it and you're not just completely if you're self-aware sometimes it sucks because you're always living in your head, but at the same time, if you're self-aware of like things that can be cringe, but you're like, I'm gonna do it anyways, and it's gonna be fun because I don't care about being judged anymore for being myself or whatever, then that's a massive win and positive, right? I don't know much about fashion or like when styles go in and out, but like the last decade, the one previous to this, like the 2010 to 2020 was like all skinny jeans and those checkered Vans and like the shoes and rave music and music festivals and like fucking just all the kind of stuff that I was never into. Like it all kind of sucked, and like I like Gen X, like Kurt Cobain, Tupac, and like kind of Gen Z is kind of cool too, and like kind of a lot of the millennial stuff in between, which I'm a part of. I never really identified with. Like I never really liked the checkered Vans or the skinny jeans. Like the skinny jeans, I really hated the skinny jeans. I never wore them, and I never felt a part of like that whole fashion. Like the whole swag era was kind of like, I didn't really like the swag era. I liked the era before that, like the baggy white tees and kind of like the R&B, like the R. Kelly 50 Cent type, vibe. But not saying that I want to do like R. Kelly stuff or anything, but like that kind of like Sean Paul too. I remember Sean Paul, Temperature, and that was a good song, and that kind of stuff, which still was probably before, more into my older sister's kind of thing, but that's kind of like what I was into. But so yeah, it was a decent day. Just looked online, news, the Iran thing, the stock things. I got a baggy shirt, and I'm loving it. I was learning the guitar a while ago, and I kind of gave up, because like I have ADHD, and I always have these ADHD hobbies that I just start out of nowhere, and then I quit out of nowhere, and it's hard to ever have like an interest for me to stick more than like a year. I actually punched a hole in the wall because I couldn't learn the guitar. I puttied it up, and that was funny as fuck. I was actually laughing when I was filling up the drywall, because it was like, it reminded me of like when I was 13 punching holes in walls, and I was so bad at repairing it. Like I just stacked a bunch of like pieces of cardboard and shit. It was fucking, I don't know, it was kind of funny. But anyways, I don't know what I'm really even talking about at this point, rambling on and on, but these videos are basically me just kind of vlogging, doing like a vlog about kind of what's in my head, I guess. If we're on kind of that nostalgic type of topic, which I guess is kind of where I'm at with this video, is I liked back in the day where you could kind of just say whatever, and it wasn't dissected into 1,000 pieces. And I don't even mean like just that free speech or counterculture things, or like the tribalism. Like, I'm not even trying to get political with it, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, I can't say this anymore, now I'm so mad. Like, I don't want to even go there, and I don't actually want to, but what do I mean? I mean, like everyone tries to figure out who you are right away and do like code switching and things like that, to see if like you're in their niche, like tribe. Like people are always, and I think that's always been how people are, like since even the dawn of time. Like this isn't even an era thing, so I shouldn't associate it with that. Like this has happened since, you know, Adam and Eve times, where people will like meet you and try to feel you out. But I think maybe the difference now is the online era where people are very specific into like their own algorithm, so they're kind of on alert right away for somebody who's hostile towards their specific bubble and their news feed or whatever kind of programming they've been getting or whatever. And everyone's very focused on their money, which, you need money to survive. And yeah, so I kind of feel back in the day, like if you were in the 90s or something, you wouldn't have the smartphone, you'd have, you wouldn't even maybe even have a flip phone, like you'd just be living in the moment. And I think that's something that I never really experienced. People were already connected and online when I was a kid. I keep referencing my oldest sister, like she was born I think in like 84 or something, like 84, 85, something like that. Like she's quite a bit older than me, and like she was probably the last like piece of that generation that didn't have like constant devices and everything. And I think that's kind of where I want to be. I want to kind of be free from my device, but at the same time, I don't think I'd be able to live without it. And yeah, people are always kind of getting their feet and they're feeling people out. I don't know where I'm going with this, but once again, ironically, that's the point of the video. The more I ramble, the better the video will be. The worse, the least sense I make, sometimes that it'll make the video better. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm winging these videos, but hopefully there's some coherent thoughts in here. But anyways, it looks like I'm out of batteries here, so I gotta wrap this up in like 30 seconds or less here. We're at 18 minutes. I think I'll close it off pretty much right now. God bless everyone. Hope everyone's having a good night. Good life, and everything's good with you guys. Things are pretty decent here. I'm still alive. You can't be spitting on the face of your blessings, and still alive. But this battery is literally gonna die right now, I think. So I gotta go. I gotta go. But I'll post again soon. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe and all that stuff. And hopefully these videos don't suck. I think they do, but hopefully they don't. Alright. Peace out.